AMD is back at it again, this time with a surprise budget CPU that could be a real game-changer for entry-level and mid-range gamers. The Ryzen 5 5500X3D has leaked, and the early benchmarks look very promising. But here's the catch. It's only launching in Latin America, at least for now. So should you care about this chip? Is it worth waiting for? Let's break it all down. The Ryzen 5 5500X3D is AMD's latest addition to its Zen 3 family, but with a twist. It comes with 3DV cache technology, the same magic sauce that made CPUs like the 5800X3D legendary for gaming. This chip was launched quietly in June 2025, but it's only just now appearing in leaked benchmarks. Think of it as a budget-friendly sibling of the 5600X3D, designed for those who want strong gaming performance without breaking the bank. It uses stacked 3DV cache on top of the die to boost cache capacity without moving to a new core architecture. Functionally, it targets gamers who want X3D benefits at a lower price point, likely on the AM4 upgrade path. AMD positioned this as a quiet regional launch. More on that in a bit. But numbers are what matter to most of us. Let's dive into the leaks. Now let's talk numbers. According to Geekbench results, the 5500X3D scored 1936 in single-core and 9292 in multi-core. To put that into perspective, it's about 13% faster than the regular Ryzen 5 5500 in multi-core tests. Single-core performance, however, is about the same as the non-X3D version. That's a bit expected, since this chip runs with lower base and boost clock speeds compared to its non-X3D sibling. But keep in mind, Geekbench is just a synthetic test. The real excitement will be in gaming benchmarks. Historically, 3DV cache CPUs absolutely shine in gaming. Expect to see per-title varying gains, sometimes huge, sometimes modest depending on engine bottlenecks. Until full gaming benchmarks leak, treat Geekbench as a useful but incomplete data point. These early numbers look promising, but verification is necessary. If you're wondering why everyone is hyped about 3DV cache, here's the deal. It adds a massive amount of L3 cache stacked on top of the CPU die. For gamers, this means faster access to data, less latency, and in many titles, huge FPS gains. We've already seen this with the Ryzen 7 5800X3D, which still holds its ground against newer CPUs purely because of that extra cache. Titles that are cache-sensitive get the biggest boosts. The 5500X3D aims to bring that same advantage to a budget-friendly price point. Think of esports and CPU-bound scenarios. That's where you'll notice the difference. Now here's the bad news. Right now, AMD has only released the Ryzen 5 5500X3D in Latin America. That's a strange move, because usually budget CPUs are targeted globally. There's no official word on whether it's coming to the US, Europe, or Asia. But given the excitement, there's always a chance AMD expands availability later this year. Sometimes regional launches test supply and pricing strategies before a global rollout. If you're outside Latin America, keep an eye on AMD channels and major retailers for updates. So, should you actually wait for this CPU? If you already own something like a Ryzen 5 5600 or an Intel i5 12400, this probably won't be a huge upgrade. But if you're building a budget gaming rig on the AM4 platform, and want something that could squeeze out more FPS in titles like CS2, Fortnite, or even newer AAA games, the 5500X3D could be a great option, if it ever makes it to your market. The bigger question will be price. If AMD launches this chip around the $150 mark, it could easily become one of the best value CPUs of the year. For budget upgraders, this is the sort of option worth watching. If you want a follow-up when global availability or full benchmarks hit, let me know below. So there you have it. The Ryzen 5 5500X 3D looks like a very promising budget CPU with 3 DV cache magic, but limited availability is holding it back for now. Would you pick this chip up for your next budget build if it launched in your region? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the latest in PC hardware news. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.